Come on. Oh, we know it's there now. We know it's there. Make it happen, boys.
Going over and over in their heads, boys. Fuck both boys.
Not again. Happening again. Come on, baby.
Do it again.
Look
out.
Well, welcome viewers, and welcome Barry Peatling to the Barry Peatling Football Show.
And welcome to you, Colin Sutcliffe, and all my viewers all around the world and in the state. We've had a lot more overseas video, overseas hits. Look at checking my videos, so I must be keeping someone occupied, getting their brain occupied for change.
Giving it a bit of information. So we had a big football weekend. We'll get into that a little bit later, and we've got some footage that you probably saw before you're watching this.
Yeah, from the Von Beach and analyse the game.
Yep, and so we'll have a look at that. But firstly, what's this?
This is Peatling and Morgan start in a repentant win back in 1960 and early 60s.
Yep.
We kicked 13 goals between us. I kicked 7, he kicked 6, and of course I got best on the ground.
Is that a picture of you?
That's me when I was about 19. I haven't changed that much, have I?
No, not too much.
Bit darker hair there, but
you still look black and white.
that was pretty good effort there. 7 goals straight I kicked that day.
You 7 goals, Ian Morgan 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the goal kickers.
Yeah, got the goal kickers there.
3 votes for Peatling.
Got 3 votes, Morgan. So that's why, obviously, it said you were faster and you were fitter.
Quicker.
Were you fit?
Were
you fit back then?
I was always pretty fit. I was always fit. I used to love training. Come on.
Mm.
I mean, people don't like training now. I mean, I used to play as I trained. The trainers I played.
Did you sort of have any sort of running records or that sort
I
of
was
thing?
good in 100 yards. I ran second Olympic Park on my school sports. I ran, I ran 11 seconds, I think, down Olympic Park, which is now the football ground for Collingwood.
Yeah.
That's a big setup down there.
Oh yeah, I know the one with the Westpac Centre they call it now. The glass house. Is that
that's
right?
it, yeah. That's where
the old glass.
That's where the old Olympic Park track was.
That's right. They used to have. That's right.
I ran into 220 yards. I was very quick. I was the first 4 or 5 steps going was the best thing in football. 4 or 5 steps.
Oh, you had that acceleration.
Acceleration, bang away.
Yeah, I'm sort of the opposite of that. It takes me about 4 or 5 steps before
warm up.
I start going. But once I sort of get to about the 6th step.
Yeah, you've probably been caught and got free kick against you holding the ball.
Yeah.
But in the football business, the first 2 or 3 steps or 4 steps, that's the main thing.
That's it. So advice.
Way you go, yeah.
Can you sort of, is that a natural thing or something? Yeah?
Well, if you're pretty good at athletics, it does help. I was pretty good. Well, you got to be a quick starter when you're running. You can't stay in the blocks, can you?
You have to be a complete.
But that was a pretty good effort between Morgan and I, because we kicked practice at school. I only kicked 15 goals, and we kicked 13 of them.
And that wasn't a final?
That was the last game before
the final.
61 season. That's the year I finished on second on the Wimbledon goal kick. As I'm talking about that, Shane McDONALD, he's won the goal kicking in the MPL. Only with 48, but I've had 60 goals. That's still a record.
Hear a little bit more about him.
Well, I have something to say about Shane McDONALD later, yeah.
Shane McDONALD, yeah.
A bit of comparisons too. We'll work that out.
Alright, well, let's get straight into the big game. Of course, Chelsea wasn't playing. It was YCW versus Bomb Beach.
Bomb Beach and Mount Eliza.
Bomb Beach, Mount Eliza. Okay, so just get it right.
Next week.
Next week, getting confused, getting ahead of myself.
Bomb Beach and YCW next Saturday.
Talk about the weather and conditions.
Perfect day, and it was a good day for football. It was probably 2 or 3 goal win towards Frankston End Road. Frankston. What's the name of the street comes off? Davy Street.
Davy Street, yeah.
Down that end, and that was a perfect day for football.
It's a nice oval here.
Beautiful ground, very good ground to watch a game of football.
All right. Well, what was the crowd like? Were many people?
Very ordinary, Colin.
Not many.
Very ordinary, yeah.
It was Bomb Beach, Mount Eliza. Okay, so there was no sort of Frankston.
No. Mount Eliza had their own little crew, the uppy crew up in stands and sitting up there with a thermos flask and glass of red wines and all that stuff. Blankets. But no, it was a pretty ordinary crowd. But
so it's a bit disappointed.
Well, the league would be disappointed, yeah. But no, it was an enjoyable game, Tom.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the game. Talk about what's happening in the first half.
The first half, Mount Eliza, they started to take over in the first quarter, and their ruckman was taken over Dylan Jones, he's about 6'8", only a very young fellow, and of course there's Jimmy Norton, who used to play for Chelsea. I'm sure he's the one who used to play for Chelsea about 6-7 years ago. But they kicked 4 goals in the first quarter to 1, but in the second quarter Bunbury started to get their motor going, and it was a half-time score. I didn't like the half-time score down, but
was it close?
It was pretty close to half-time.
And so it was a close sort of a hard-fought game. Was it high scoring? Or was it just normal?
At the finish was, because Bunbury kicked 8 goals in the last quarter. But the second half, Dylan Jones and Norton, they got on top of the racks, and Ribicini and of course McDonald, who was McDonald had 20 possessions at half time, Tom. Well, 20 would have been 23.
He's just getting better with age.
14 in the first quarter. But as I say, the big ruckman got on top. Kane Taylor was playing pretty good, playing very well for Mount Elias on the wing. But and of course Michael Freeman, this fella can play, number 52 for Mount Elias. He kicked 5 goals for the game, but he kicked 3 enormous angle goals. He's a superstar in the making.
So what was the final score?
But the final score was 17-21 to 12-10. Which
Bond Beach won.
Bond Beach, they kicked 8 goals in the last quarter.
Wow.
They
took over. So it was close until the three-quarter time.
No, it was close about half-time, and they took over from half-time. They only kicked 5 goals after half-time. Otherwise, there were 7 goals up at half-time. They kicked 5 goals, and Bond Beach kicked about 14.
Okay, well, give us the main goal kickers then, Barry.
The main goal kickers for Bond Beach were Callum McQueen, who kicked 5 goals, and he kicked 3 in the last quarter. He doesn't muck about kicking goals, this fella. Shane McDonald, of course, kicked 3, and Dylan Jones kicked 3. I think he kicked 3. Mark Tyrrell kicked 2, and Michael Swettenhall, I think it was. Swettenhall? No, he played for Mount Eliza. But that was the main goal kickers. But for Mount Eliza, Michael Freeman kicked 5 goals, 1. And they were all unbelievable goals. They were. Josh Norman played a fantastic game. The captain kicked 4, and Timmy Strickland kicked 2. And Sammy Swettenhall kicked 2.
Oh, very good. Who were just give us a group of best players then.
I was going to say for McDonald. For Bond Beach, Callum McQueen, Ribicini, McDonald, Dylan Jones, and Jimmy Norton. And for Mount Eliza, Kane Taylor, number 4, he's a good player, that fellow on the wing. Michael Freeman, Wetnall, Josh Norman, and Sammy Gill.
Very good. So give us your votes for the game then, Barry.
One vote. One vote to Callum McQueen for his 5 goals. Two votes. 2 votes for Michael Freeman for his 5 goals, and 3. I've got to give him 10 votes. Shane McDonald for
3 votes. Shane McDonald.
Just on 40 possessions for the game.
So just talk a little bit.
Superstar, Shane McDonald.
So you want to give some comments on the game, Barry?
Yeah, well, I will talk about McDonald too, because he
had
at least 7 opponents on Saturday. I played a few games, Colin, had 3 or 4 opponents in one game. But his fella had 7. I stopped counting after 7 for the whole game. Opponents, 7 different opponents.
Well, they kept on switching.
And they fell 6'8" on him, 5'9", and he just mesmerises the opposition.
Who would you compare Shane McDonald to?
Well, I said to you before we come on here that I'd picked my top 10 players about 3 years ago, didn't I?
Yes.
Well, he has gone well ahead of Simon Goosey. Simon Goosey
was number 1.
Yep. Shane McDonald, you are a superstar, and you're the best footballer I've seen in the MPL. And as a matter of fact, the best football I've seen apart from the suburban and local competitions.
Really?
Just takes control of the game, Colin.
And he's not like
they can't grab him.
He doesn't look spectacular, doesn't he?
He looks overweight, but he's never caught, and he just goes back, stands back, and the handball. He kicked 3 himself, but he's responsible for another 4 or 5. He makes the play. They're too frightened to go. It might be a bit like Maurice Rioli years ago.
Oh, okay.
He used to stand there, and no one would go near him.
So that he slip around and he
didn't know which way he's going.
Shake his hips and off he goes.
I know it's a bit ordinary to compare him with Maurice Rioli, but that's the way the players react to him, because they don't know what he's going to do. And because he never wastes a possession. Handball, beautiful couple of handballs over the top of his head, bang, goal.
Yeah, so maybe
it's just good to watch.
Missed his calling with the AFL, I guess.
Well, I told you last year, I think it was, because when he used to fix up Chelsea, I said he's just about half a yard short. He played Collingwood seconds, he's just a half a yard slower for the VFL. I reckon that was probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
He just takes control of the game from the start to finish. He never gets tired.
Got good fitness base.
He rests at centre half forward. He rests at half forward flank. Rests on the wing. He just goes where he likes.
So he was a bit like you. Is he better than you?
Well, I'll tell you something now. These headlines up here. I mean, when you start getting hit, I mean, I was a pretty good footballer. I tell you now. I got things to put, that's why I put these things in front of the video every week to show that I did play the game. But when Shane McDonald can get them sort of headlines, he's probably up in my category. But he's just good to watch and look
bit of enjoyment.
That's why I go and watch him because
You're following Bomb Beach at the moment?
Yes, I got some footage.
Hoping that we've got footage as you'll see.
I'm going to try and get Shane McDonald interviewed next week before the game. Or otherwise, I'm not trying to get him to come down here and do it because he is the superstar of the NPL. I seen him last year playing against the Ovens Murray combined time, best on the ground.
Wow!
By a mile. He just in the last in the league game this year down at Carlton. You got the best player again. Shane McDonald, you are a superstar, mate.
Very good. Well, what's next week?
Well, they're playing. I think one of the fellows whose son was playing, I was standing alongside him. He said that I'm pretty sure they're playing at YCW at Frankston Park.
Same place. I look forward to
that.
So
that will be a top game. If they can get within 3 or 4 goals of YCW or beat them, I've tipped them to win the flag there 2 or 3 weeks ago. That was my prediction. They'll win the premiership.
Okay.
That'll be a big test next Saturday.
So they're coming from
supporters, get down there and support your side.
Support your side. Now, talking about a football team on the up, Richmond.
Just scraped home, didn't they?
Scraped home. They were playing,
Look, they kicked the first goal. BWS. People say,
that was the highlight of the game.
Well, people say, probably that's could be a big turn up. But then we kicked 11 goals in the second quarter, which is the biggest amount of goals we've kicked
for a long time.
Since 1983 or something.
And it's your biggest win since 1996 when you played Fitzroy and you beat them by more than 100. But that's the year that everyone was beating Fitzroy by 100. Yeah. The last year in the competition.
Before they amalgamated,
Yeah, before they went up to Brisbane. But it's interesting. It's
Tigers, it can't do them any harm because we've got to play Essendon next week, and who knows about that, but they might be playing. Yeah,
well, we don't know exactly.
Your prediction,
my prediction has always been, we can check the video weeks and weeks and weeks ago.
You predicted Essendon will lose the points and Hurd will get the flick and...
Yep. And they'll lose the points. I told the specific timing of when they'll lose the points.
Yeah.
It'll be right at the end of August. Here we are. I reckon that tomorrow, by tonight, we'll know.
Yeah, they'll lose all their trade picks too.
Yeah, exactly.
So they'll be that. We'll have to start think about Melbourne, mate.
Exactly. All right. Well, any Cheerios?
Yeah, there's always my Cheerios too. Oh, I must remember Scotty Whitehead. He's one of my subscribers. Scotty Whitehead. Scotty Whitehead. He's the secretary of the Chelsea Footy Club.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well done, Scotty, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. Yes, of course.
Cheerio to him.
Cheerio, Scotty, and I don't know what PH has been up to, but those things are going right there, and you and Shandy and Carlos, and of course my little darling Annie and little Carla, and because the Philippines have had floods up there.
Latvian viewers.
And the Latvians and the Mexican, and I must say, cheerio to my United Kingdom. They watch it every week.
And your unknown regions.
And the unknown, what do you call them? Planets. Unknown. What do they call themselves?
Unknown regions.
Unknown region of the world. Probably a bit of the KGB.
So that's a few Cheerios. I think you've got everyone there.
Yeah, but I think
your European and your African viewers.
I'll be going to the Bond Beach and Frankston YCW next Saturday down at Frankston Park, and it will be a top game. I would suggest any football viewers out there will get down there. It'll be a top class game.
Be there
and don't be square.
Oh, very good. All right, well that's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me. We'll see you next week. Bye bye. Hogan, Cosby, and
and hitting our targets now, aren't we? Just starting to open up a little bit, just starting to look a little bit more composed, so it's been fantastic. Right, we've got Robbo on the wing, fantastic buddy. Another quarter like that. Ripper good. Alright, held out. Just started to come on into the game, kicking long down there, we look very dangerous. Okay, Steve's over, keep through that. Smitty on that half foot flank, good buddy, just getting around it. I don't mind you there at all. You're a bit close to your mark, getting out there. In fact, Juddy, looking dangerous there. Just wants to give you a pace there, Ali, Tal, and Mac up. We've got to sort of come up and try and get it down there, alright, boys? Does everyone understand that? Yep. Okay, make sure that we're still going that man on man. That's when we got right back into the game. Just watch it when they roll out. So watch the wing. And watch it half forwards and half backs, and they suck out. They wait for us to come up into the contact, and when they suck up, we did that very good that quarter and got ourselves back on an even footing. So it was really good. Alright, so everyone understand where they are? Yep, okay. Alright.
Come on, finish off, one quarter.
We finished last quarter, best in the competition we are.
Show it, boys, show it.
So we just know how hard we have to work, don't we? We keep working, no matter what happens, we keep working, we keep pushing that ball forward, we keep giving that option, and we keep keeping long and deep averages all year. Alright, everyone's ready to go. Come on! You know, took a little while for us to settle. I think we had our chance, early in the game, and and once we did settle, I must say, what was really pleasing from my point of view was a couple of people putting it. It wasn't my game, but it was my moment. They went back and did a job. I must say, the swap with Fozzie and Bass, probably towed up a bit early and then just swapped it around and then went back and did a really good job. Didn't carry on. Just made sure that you went back and did a job. It was really good. Alright, Thursday in the middle, just super mate. Robbo was sort in hard all day, tackling, locked it up. All our midfielders, I must say, it's going to be hard. I can go through nearly every one of you, but we just really locked it down and made sure they didn't quite get out in the burst. And as I said, it was probably just our turnovers a little bit early, a bit of nerves, just coughed it over. We're a lot better than that. We sort of really got into it. Carps and Rui going on the form and really big hits and stuff like that. And as I said, we get back to the club rooms tonight. We really enjoy that. Make sure that we suck in that winning feeling because that's addictive. That's what we want. But as of tomorrow, it's recovery and we're everyone down the beach. 10 o'clock. No, cutting out. Make sure you bring in that. I'll leave that to the leaders to sit down and make sure we know where we're meeting and all that sort of stuff. I'll let you work that out. Fantastic, boys. Thanks to all the supporters and all the we're living on the week, boys.